Coming to you live despite being hit by a race car in the head. This is the Dirt Life Show with George Hamill and Cody Sanders.
Yeah. What's up? Episode 2 of the Dirt Life Show. Got my fantastic co-host extraordinaire, Cody Sanders, in the studio with us. We got Bryan Foerster, Lucas Off-Road Racer, races a Can-Am, all-around badass dude. So it's good to have these guys in the studio with us today. How are you guys doing?
Good, man. How you feeling today?
I'm feeling pretty good, a little tired, but how was your weekend?
It was good, man.
What'd
Relaxing.
you do? Just chill?
We just do, we took the toy hauler out, camping. Well, glamping, should I say.
Yeah.
Plugged it up, hung out, and then I rode the 80 all weekend.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I put the car away. It's hot
Nice.
right now, so.
It makes it a lot easier because you don't have to clean that
It's
bad boy.
nice, dude.
How about you, Bryan? What'd you do this weekend?
Got a little best of both worlds. Got to do a little contingency with Vegas to Reno. Happened to be there for.
Oh, that's right. You texted me.
Yeah, had a friend's 40th birthday that I was there for, and got to run down a contingency. I'm out of the desert life now, but you still got to go down and check it out and throw support for sure.
Yeah, that's cool. That Vegas to Reno race looks so gnarly. I saw so much carnage, man.
Yeah, it was pretty. It was so hot. I wonder how many motors blew.
That's what I was thinking, man. I was like, no way.
Yeah, who knows? But that's cool that you guys went over there and did all that stuff, man. It's really cool to see as many people that go to the races just to support and watch compared to how many of the drivers. Like, you see every, trophy or chase truck packed with dudes. Like, there's so many people that are going to support all the racers.
You have to have all that support.
And how many miles was it?
505, I believe it was this year.
Dude, can you imagine? I know one guy I talked to today, freaking Ironman, that son of a gun.
Yeah, 111 degrees. I mean, you left
Holy
Tucson
shit.
to get out of 105 or whatever it was here to go to a 111 in Vegas. Yeah.
Dude, talk about gnarly.
Yeah.
100 and so in the race cars or trucks, whatever it was, it must have been upwards of 140 degrees.
Generally, when you're sitting in the truck, just because the motor's right next to you, you're running about 200 degrees.
Holy shit, dude.
Yeah. It's hot in there.
That's crazy. Yeah, and you would know. You've done a few different races and trophy trucks and things like that. That's pretty bitchin', man.
It was fun. Yeah, 14 and a half hours was my last Vegas to Reno experience, but we finished.
That's cool. Well, for some of our listeners that don't know, give them a little bit of your background, man, like where you came from, how you grew up, why you love the dirt life.
Tucson, Arizona, that's why. 15 minutes from the desert.
Yep.
Started on a go-kart such a young age. Went to a motorcycle, at a young age, and then just kept on up with it. Got into the dunes and sand rails and dirt bikes and quads, and then I just kind of evolved.
I feel like that's like almost the traditional story that like almost all of the people that are in the desert have. Oh yeah, my dad and my mom used to have quads and all this. Yeah.
That's where it starts.
Yeah, that's cool. And then after you kind of got into it and you started getting a little bit older, you got to get in a trophy truck, or what was your first racing experiences?
I was getting in the truck with somebody, and I was co-driving. I did that for 3 to 5 years, and just couldn't give up that seat. I needed that seat, so I had to go. I had to go and do it for myself. I actually converted myself into short course because I got my son into racing some Lucas Oil short course, and my wife was all on board because you're not gone for 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
I see you for 3 minutes, and then you're gone for 2.5 hours again. She was like, full permission. Go buy a car, build a car, and do this. I was like, all right.
Yeah, that's way cool, man.
Yeah, so
That's awesome. Well, I think we had a little bit of technical issues with some of our show intro stuff. So for you guys that didn't have the opportunity to get our show intro, I'm here with my co-host extraordinaire, Cody Sanders, and Bryan Foerster. Bryan Foerster's a Lucas off-road racer. Well, now he is. He used to do some Best in the Desert stuff and some desert racing stuff, but really stoked to have you in the studio, man.
thanks. Appreciate it.
Yeah, that's good. So what'd you guys do this weekend?
Ah, man, I went camping.
You
I went glamping. I was out at an
glamping?
RV park, man, plugged in, hung out with the wife, and having by the pool. And
What do you guys
hot
do when
tub.
you go glamping, though? Just
Dude,
take some drinks out there and
Dude,
just go chill?
barbecue, yeah, barbecue, drink some beer, like air conditioning. You're paying on a toy hauler, man. You might as well use it during the summer.
That's awesome. That's so cool. And plus, you got the pool right there, too.
Yeah, pool, hot tub, and the pool was cold.
And you don't even have to take care of it. You don't have to worry about pool pumps, nothing.
Nothing.
Nice.
How about you? What'd you do this weekend, Bryan?
I was in Vegas for a friend's 40th birthday and happened to jump down real quick and see some contingency for the Vegas to Reno race, which was awesome.
Yeah, I remember you texting me. That's bitching, dude.
Yeah, you got to throw support out there for sure.
Yeah, like I was saying before, it's like there's so much support at those races. Like all those chase trucks are just filled with people like going to support one or two drivers, you know, and then their co-drivers. It's really, really cool to see that. And they have to drive almost just as far. They're just doing it on the pavement. Like I would almost way rather be in the race car than in the chase vehicles.
You know, the support, especially for the Great American Off-Road Race, that race in itself has to take so much support for people to be jumping pits and trying to get ahead of especially these Class 1 cars. And these Class 10 cars are up there in their times now. Obviously, the 6100s and the TTs are up there, but
yeah.
I mean, it takes huge support. People leaving at the crack of dawn, before the crack of dawn. There's a lot involved into it. Strategies, planning. Yeah, it's a lot.
But when you got an all-wheel drive trophy truck like Bryce Menzies, this makes life a little easier to smoke everybody.
Oh my God.
Dude, I was watching a video on social media with that truck, and they were inside it, and they showed a couple outside shots with the drone or something. The amount of pull that it looks like it's like 60% in the front and 40% in the rear because it has so much grab in the front. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Laying some 40-inch tires or 44s.
It was like
ripping.
It looked like it. I mean, it looked like it was hard for him to control, but it almost looked like cheating from the outside. Like it was so freaking fast. Like I could not believe how fast that thing could go.
That's what pulls him through those corners at 50 miles an hour. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it probably makes those silt beds super easy too.
Yeah, silt beds are fun.
Well, in two-wheel drive, they're even more fun, right? Well, for those of our listeners that aren't familiar with you, what's a little bit of your backstory, man? Why do you love the dirt life?
Just grew up in Tucson, Arizona. Been out in the dirt since I was little, and just kind of evolved from go-karts to motos to quads to sandrails out in the dunes. And I was fortunate enough to get out there and do some desert racing, and once my family was on board with that and I got my son into racing Lucas, my wife was all on board for me going short course just for the spectator part of it.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. She goes out and supports. The couple times that I've been out with to the races with you, it's so cool to see because there's, well, like we were just talking with the off-road stuff and the best in the desert stuff, there's so many people in your pits that come out to support. Like, I see guys that are like full-on professionals, and they have their whole team and stuff, but it's not even as fun of an environment because you have all the family there, all the friends there. Like, people bring their toy haulers just to come hang out and support you.
Yeah, it's
like,
cool.
It's bitching.
I appreciate everyone out there.
Yeah, it's cool. And you did get to drive as a co-driver in a trophy truck for a little while, right?
Yeah. Roughly 3 to 5 years I was in the truck. Had a lot of good experience, good seat time. Been through a lot, hitting cows at 90 miles an hour.
Dude, that's gnarly.
Yeah, that was a Parker 425. We creamed 2 cows, not just one, but yeah, we got.
How was that? Did it damage the truck at all?
I thought it would be worse than what it was when we hit it, but with just the momentum and the speed and how we went through it, it really just doom and spit them out the back. But after looking at footage, we actually clipped 2 of them.
Oh, that's gnarly.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
That's crazy, man. And you like doing the desert stuff, but you like doing the short course stuff better, or what?
I love it all. Yeah, for sure, 100%. Love the desert. Love the short course. You got people right next to you. I'm digging that.
Yeah.
That is super cool, man.
You're in the middle of building a car right now, right?
I'm on hold on the 19. The 2020 is coming. Have a little delay. Just trying to make up my mind on a few things that I want to do. Just because of some and Reno and Sparks 3 weeks ago. Production Turbo got notified of a couple changes for this upcoming year, so I kind of put a little bit of a hold on things right now just to try and figure it out.
Yeah, it makes sense. Like, so what's the new rules in Lucas that they're trying to implement?
Well, right now, as of 19, no 2020s are allowed, whether it be Polaris, Can-Am, just
or
in
whatever it
general.
is.
Yeah, no 2020s are going to be allowed.
We were talking about that a little bit last week, and I don't understand why they do that. Like, what makes them think that that's okay?
You know, I don't know if it's because of Polaris's influence in the Lucas short course.
All right, hold on to the bar.
I don't know if it's because of what Can-Am came out with. Polaris doesn't have anything that's going to compete. I don't know.
It seems kind of counterproductive, though, because to me, it seems like it would be so easy for them to just follow the brand battle. You know what I mean? The Ford versus Chevy thing. The Ford versus Chevy thing is like the best thing for the sport, because that's what gave the regionals the ability to go to the pro level when in what was that 2016 or 17 was because Yamaha entered and it was battling against Polaris. Like, that's the whole talk all year. I mean, even the Yamaha guys, I mean, they were learning their cars, but they were faster, clearly. But it was really cool to see. And the value of the manufacturers having that competitiveness is like the number one thing. So you would think that no matter what, the rules follow what the manufacturers are doing to get that competitive spirit up.
Well, and I think the leveling field is there right now. I mean, if you're going to look at Weller, you're going to look at Keith Brooks, you're going to look at the Polaris drivers, you know, they're all right there. Chance Hagen, I mean, this kid is amazing, and he was fast. Robert Van Beekum, super fast.
Yep.
You know, those cars are just as fast as the Can-Ams. It's just, I think the playing field is there. I think Lucas is taking a look at what's coming up to try and keep the playing field level.
Yeah, that makes sense. We're still having a couple technical difficulties with the live stream here, so hopefully we'll get it all figured out. But we're recording the audio for iTunes, so that's good. Well, one of the topics that I wanted to discuss was last week's show. Last week's show we did, well, I don't want to say amazing because it was a small show, but amazing in my eyes. I think it was fantastic. We had 600-plus visitors for their listeners for the first day, and that was all that night. And then, obviously, we've grown on iTunes and all the networks since then. Yeah. So I'm really, really excited to be able to have that first big show, in my opinion.
I was nervous. You were nervous.
I was a little bit more nervous about the production stuff, like even the technical difficulties.
Oh.
Yeah.
Cody's still nervous.
Oh, sorry.
Like even the technical difficulties that we're having today. Like it's
Sure, why not?
Yeah.
The guys are taking shots of tequila in here.
So how'd you feel last week's show? Like being now you're on it. Now you're getting to see and feel, look at the studio. I mean, how'd you feel last week of how everything went?
I think your show was amazing last week.
Now you're getting to see and feel, look at the studio.
It's very more surreal.
How'd you feel last week of how everything went?
I think your show was amazing.
Now you're getting to see and feel,
I'm a little
look at the studio.
Myself. That's why I just had a shot of tequila, which I
asked you that earlier. I'm like, hey man, hey, if you feel this way, let's go take one, huh? So
that's good. Now you guys are all even.
It's that positive vibe that George throws out there.
Yeah. You just want to hug him, dude. You want to just hug him?
Yeah, just talk to him.
Just want to sit on his lap,
You'll
dude.
be good. No, I don't want to sit on his lap.
You want him to sit on your lap?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, yeah, so I'm stoked on it. And for those of you guys who don't know, who may be listening for the first time, I'd like to see if we can make it bigger. Like, I want everybody to join in. I want everybody to go to our social media pages. It's at The Dirt Life Show, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. And let's blow this thing up, man. Let's get this thing huge. I'd really like to see, like just big increases up until we can get like the first 10 shows. You know what I mean?
Yeah, oh yeah.
And then all of a sudden we just got like thousands and thousands of listeners, and it'll just be bitching for all of us to share our stories.
I mean, our sponsors alone, man, has helped us out a lot.
Yeah.
They're awesome.
Absolutely. And yeah, so let's throw a shout out to them.
Yeah, absolutely. And look forward to getting feedback and being able to answer some of these questions that people come in with. You know,
I'm waiting for. I have a feeling we're gonna get a caller tonight. What do you think?
We'll see what happens,
I
man.
Get a caller tonight.
I hope so. That way you can get like finally get on the mic and talk to him. For those of you that don't want to call in, you can go to the Facebook live stream or the YouTube live stream and comment. Like I said, it's at The Dirt Life Show. We have a website up. You can also check that out, thedirtlifeshow.com. And like I said, just want to blow it up. So have everybody go to social media pages and just start tagging, Dirt Life Show. And today we have Myles Cheek, Lucas Off-Road Racer Extraordinaire, coming on. Myles is a pretty badass dude, man. He, first of all, he's a wheelman. He can drive like nobody's business. He's a young kid. He's got tons and tons of talent that he can take for many years. And he's a Polaris battling against the Yamahas. And one of the only guys that can do it at a successful level. He's fighting for a championship right now against some very fast drivers, very fast cars. He just built a new RS1, Polaris RS1 short course car, and the thing looks bitchin'. For those of you who don't know what a Polaris RS1 is, it's a Razor, but it's a single seat. And it looks really cool. The Nerf bars look kind of dorky, but just because it's so skinny.
Have you driven one yet or no?
I haven't driven an RS1, no.
We went out when I was at the Cinders. We had somebody that had one. His kid was in it.
Did you try
All
it?
done up. No, man. I was going to ask him.
Do you remember the RS1 when we were in Laughlin? Next to our pit?
No, I don't. No.
You don't remember it?
I don't think so. Give me a little bit more info.
It was before the accident. Before your accident. It was right next to our pit, and it had an accident. It, obviously flipped and cartwheeled.
Oh, that thing was toast.
Yes, it was so toast.
I remember that thing on the trailer, and he ripped off all the wheels.
All the A-arms were tore. The cage was completely smashed in. It was a brutal rollover.
Dude, that's crazy. Yeah, I remember seeing that thing. But hopefully the dude was safe. But, yeah, that thing looked bad, man. I hope that guy was safe. So, again, shout out to our sponsors. The show is brought to you by all of our great sponsors, Rigid Industries. Rigid Industries makes some of the baddest light bars, baddest lights that you can get. For those of you who think you can go on Amazon and buy a $100 light bar, feel free, but it's never going to be as bright as Rigid.
Never going to be the same.
Never going to be the same. But they make awesome products, and they are having a contest with us right now on social media. So you can go to our social media page, The Dirt Life Show, on Instagram. Tag 3 of your friends. Like the photo. Follow us, and you'll get entered to win, 29-inch light bar? I forgot what the series is called. It's an E-Series Hyper Spot.
Yeah.
The retail value is $893.
Woo-wee.
Yeah, man.
So if we don't pick a winner, maybe
somebody
I'll just
better
sign
tag
up.
me.
Yeah, tag you.
Tag me in there, man.
Dude, I want that light bar, man. That thing's a badass product. Shout out to the guys at Shock Therapy. Yeah. Those guys, Justin, he has this commercial that we're going to air a little bit later, but they do so many guys' shocks. So many people's shocks. They have, I think, 80 or 90 desert teams that they sponsor. It's just crazy how much work those guys do. So clearly,
but their product's amazing.
Yeah.
Obviously, right? It's
and
amazing.
One of the reasons that I like both Rigid and Shock Therapy and our other sponsors is they're just awesome people. Like, we had a little benefit for me that you threw. You guys both helped out with. And the guys at Shock Therapy gave a bunch of free shock giveaways and stuff like that. Dude, so they helped raise a lot of money.
Yeah, they totally
got a
close
place to my heart, because that was when we found out what they were bringing to the table. I mean, all the sponsors were awesome for that event. It really, we actually, it was funny. Funny story is we accidentally auctioned off 2 of the same product, if you remember that, right?
I do remember this.
And we were like, oh no, me and Frank with YXEAZ were like, you know what, we'll come up every weekend and do your yard work if you can make it still happen, because we felt so bad. I was like, oh man. And they said, don't worry about it, come on down. They took care, the person who won it, they took care of them, no questions asked, man. They just laughed about it. So that means a lot.
Very neat.
That was really
cool. That's so rad, man. So I'm glad those guys did it. We have Fuel Wheels. So Fuel Wheels, they make some of the baddest wheels in the business. We have some Fuel Wheels in the studio, and you guys can check those out. They're custom painted. Blue wheels over there next to Bryan's shoulder. Those are YXZ wheels, but they're called Fuel Anza beadlocks. Those things are bitchin'.
I know, and I'm in the market for my truck, man.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Get some Fuel Wheels on that bad boy.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at. So.
You need 8 lugs, though, huh?
Yeah, they're F-250, baby.
Nice, dude. That's
diesel
cool.
Dog.
Well, and then we have Solder Weld. We have some solder weld off-road repair kits that we're going to do a little product demonstration today. These things are badass, man.
Yeah,
they have
take it with you.
Yeah, you can take it with you. They have all the cleaning products. So if you get a hole in your radiator, you damage a wheel, anything, you can repair your
Just the
ride.
outside looks good, man. American flag. I mean, that's where it's
just
at
the
right
design.
there.
Yeah,
It's so nice.
I'm kind of feeling the camel one that Bryan has over there in his hands. That thing's bitching.
Well,
I know, but there's a couple guys we know that got that orange color, man.
Yeah,
that would match perfectly good. You know
and
who you are.
You can those things will attach to the roll cage, no problem too. So they have straps on the back. You can attach them to the roll cage.
Anything, yeah.
Yeah.
These are
So
like
go ahead and open that thing up, man. We'll just get into it right now.
Yeah, it's like that military feel. You know, we got to cut this one open.
Yeah, I believe these are kind of designed to go on the roll bar. Is why they have all these nooses like this.
Yeah, look at that, man. You could put
legit.
stuff in
Yeah.
there.
So you can strap them on however you want. They have inside. They have hot flux, so it's a heat absorption putty. So you can put it around wherever the area you're going to work with. They have a flux that's an alloy flux, and they also have a multi-purpose flux. And so both of those would be your activators for your rod.
Brush.
So they got your brush that you can clean the area with. They got a good mechanics rag in there, and then you got your brazing rods as well. So the only thing you need is a basic little torch.
Yep.
Little, not high heat, but something that can put out a decent amount of heat.
Like a map gas.
Yeah, like a map gas or something. And so you can fix anything on the trail. And there's been so many times that we've been on the trail and we're just stuck. So we just got to wait. So these are bitchin' little kits, man, and you can use these anywhere.
And it lasts you quite a few times.
Oh, yeah, that'll last a long time.
So this hot blocks you can reuse, and my employees actually have it. I don't know if the guys know, but I own a plumbing company. And when we have to sweat on a copper valve, on a shower valve or whatnot, we wrap this around it so it doesn't destroy the O-rings on the cartridge.
Yep. It absorbs all the heat that keeps it centralized.
Then you could peel it right back off, crumble it up, stick it right back in here, use it again.
And it works really good, too, because that stuff takes so much heat, man.
Yeah, up to 3,000 degrees.
That's awesome. Yeah. So it's used for, they use it a lot in the HVAC industry, obviously, in the plumbing industry. Yep. But these things are bitching because they transition into a little kit that you can take on your UTV, your truck, your Jeep, whatever it is, and you can throw it in there, and you can always make sure that you get home. So, yeah, definitely check out Solderweld. Go to their website, solderweld.com. Hit them up on social media. And, we'd obviously like to support people that support us. So go get yourself one. Another thing that I wanted to let everybody know was the number one show that we had, or the first show that we had, episode number 1, went so well that we got another sponsor. And we're going to have Zollinger Racing Products come on board. They're going to come on board in the next couple weeks here. Those guys make bitchin' products for, the ones that I looked at were for the Can-Am, so I was thinking of your new race car. They make hubs, spindles, radius rods, tie rods. They make everything. And Zollinger actually has their own machine shop. So they make everything in-house. They do all of the customization. They have all the vehicles to test them on. They race Best in the Desert. They race different, local events. They race at the UTV World Championship. Those guys are just all over the map. So they have all kinds of product testing going on. So one of the things that I want to do is maybe see if we could squeak in to get use some products for that Can-Am, man. They are so freaking cool. Whenever I see a chunk of metal that's turned into, let's just say a hub for an X3.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just like, oh, Jesus, that thing is beautiful.
Yeah, it is.
Looks
great.
Yeah, and all I think about is, God, I want to have better tools. Can I please somebody give me a 6-axis and just give me I don't know, $500,000 and I can just put them in a nice shop. Yeah, just to have
those
things.
If you don't play though.
I know, right? So it's cool to see that because it makes you think of what's my next build gonna be.
Yeah.
And then you get all excited, if I got a Can-Am, I could have all these products. Maybe that's how we should do it. We should start building our cars based on what the aftermarket is producing for those cars. So instead of going down to the dealership and buying your favorite car, go get all your favorite products and then get the car to match.
Yeah. Put it all together. Reverse.
So those Zollinger guys have badass stuff, though. So thank you to Travis Zollinger and the Zollinger Racing guys. We'll have some stuff. We're going to have some product giveaways for you guys in the future here. So stay tuned. Maybe in the next couple of weeks you can win yourself some stuff for your ride. So thank you to those guys. Our special guest, like I said, is going to be Myles Cheek. He's going to come on in the next few minutes here. And, I just wanted to see if you guys – one of the things that I was talking to I don't even remember who it was this week, but I was talking to them about the difference between like a traditional stick and ball sport athlete compared to like an action sports athlete, we'll call them, like a dirt bike racer or an off-road racer or something like that. And this is not to be offensive to any stick and ball sport, because every sport gets, if you're good at a sport, you deserve a lot of credit, because there's not very many people that can get to a super high level in any sport or any type of racing, basketball, baseball, whatever it is. However, you know what? It came up on the Unadilla or Budds Creek National that I was watching, and they were talking about how fit and how strong all these motocross racers are, and it was because they can ride back-to-back motos. It's basically a half an hour, 45-minute break or an hour break between each moto, and they put in so much work to be in such good shape that they can ride their moto full pace at, let's just say, a heart rate level of anywhere from 170 to 200 for 45 minutes, take an hour break, and come back and do it 45 minutes again right after. Like, that's just insane. There is almost no sport out there that does the same cardiovascular or muscle strength tests that these guys can put themselves through. And for me to see that, it was just like, it makes you feel good that first of all, that we are into the dirt life, that we could ride dirt bikes and stuff like that. I don't think we could ever do it at their level now. But to think about it in the reverse order, like, what do the guys that play baseball do? Nothing close to that. Guys that play soccer, nothing close to that. Because they can always take a little tiny break in the middle. They can always catch their breath. So
Always try to prepare themselves, yeah.
And like I said, not to take anything away from these guys or not to demote their sports at all, but kudos to those guys racing motocross. Like, I had such a hard time getting to the fitness level of being able to do an Ironman. And it's a gnarly deal, right? Like, you got to be good at swimming. You got to be good at cardio. You got to be good at bicycle riding. You got to be good at, running, and in my case, a wheelchair. So you got to have a certain level of fitness. And it took me 2 years to do that. These guys that are doing the motocross are way gnarlier than that. Like, they could probably go out and do an Ironman in their spare time. Like, their fitness levels are just crazy.
Well, even, you see, like, they all get out, take a bike ride, and it's not like a 2-3 mile bike ride.
Yeah, they'll go 40 miles a day.
Yeah, like, it's nothing. They'll come home and be like, all right, I'm hungry, need some carbs, let's do it. It's like,
well,
it's
no,
crazy.
And then they got to go ride their motos.
It's crazy.
And then they got to go work out.
I'm like, pass me that shot of tequila again.
That's a little bit easier to do a forearm curl, right? Well, yeah, so it's cool to see that that they acknowledge that, at least on live TV when they were on NBC, they were acknowledging it. So I was stoked to see that, and it made me feel good because that's how I was brought up, like the dirt life, and,
Sure.
And being able to not anywhere close to their level, but at least pat myself on the back for being able to do that for a few years. So I was really stoked, and I remember like a time 10 years ago or something. There was a basketball player. I have no idea who his name was, but it was like, hey, I hurt my finger. I can't play basketball for, he's in the NBA. He's making more than all these guys that race dirt bikes. He's making, millions
on
and millions.
the bench, man, and he's still making money.
But that's frustrating, though, because these guys that are putting their life on the line racing dirt bikes, why can't some of that money be made in dirt bike racing? Right. Why is the dirt bike industry and the motorsports industry so low on the totem pole that they can't get enough funds going into the series and stuff?
It's the same thing with like all the football thing that happened, with Colin Kaepernick. Always started that kneeling and all that stuff, and they're making all this money, and it's like I don't understand.
I just want some of that money to trickle into some of these action sports. Yeah. Like, if they can get that much money to sit on the bench or to complain about their finger, and again, I don't know who this dude was, and I'm not demoting their sports. I'm just saying, don't be a pussy. Either play or don't get paid.
I mean, you break your arm on a moto and you got a moto next week. Guess what?
Yeah, dude, I've seen guys that
they're at least going to start that next race. Dude.
Yeah,
Stefan Everett's a long time ago in the USGPs. He broke his collarbone one weekend, right? And it was in the second moto, so he got lucky, and he still got points. I think he ended up crossing the finish line with a broken collarbone. So first of all, that's gnarly. Second, he goes and gets it bolted up on Monday. Fins, the rods bolted up, right? Takes it like all his, medicine during the week, makes sure it's stretched out, goes to the doctor, gets it all done, and races on Saturday. It's not even 6 days, 7 days later. With the bone hasn't healed at all. There's just a big piece of metal holding it, and they allowed him to take over-the-counter pain medicine, not shots, because you're not allowed to with WADA and all the different drug rules. Takes over-the-counter pain medicine and mans up and goes out and still clinches the championship. I don't know what place he got, but just for that dude to put his arm on the handlebars, I bet you was painful. And he went and raced the motos, 2 motos.
Yeah, that's crazy.
In the GPs. So, like I said, I'm not taking away anything from the stick and ball sport, guys, but it really does annoy me that we can't get the funding to give all these privateers and all these really awesome riders and fit dudes some money to support themselves. Like, there's only 5 dudes in motocross that make money, that can call it a living. All the other dudes are supporting themselves or just barely getting by.
I've always thought about that too with the off-road racing, because if you take desert off-road racing versus NASCAR and any other type of automobile racing, it is by far, hands down, the hardest automobile racing there is. You have all of the elements. You don't have a pit crew on the side
Cows
waiting for
in front
you.
of you.
You have an open range that you were notified before. You know, when you have a flat, you get out, you lift that 150-pound tire yourself. You change it yourself. Sometimes you got to beat the dang rim off of the caliper with the rock that you find nearby. You know,
so I always wondered
takes.
that. How heavy are those trophy truck tires when you got to change
They're
them?
160, 180.
Holy shit. So you got to lift that whole thing?
Yeah. Yeah, you got to. Well, you use momentum to get them out of the back of the truck and into the back of the truck.
How high do you usually have to get the truck off the ground when you put the tire on?
I mean, you just try to get it up. You're so gassed because you're hauling. You know, your momentum's in, your adrenaline's in, and you just get it up enough to clear. I mean, you're not going for a certain height or anything. You learn the hard way too. Keep your gloves on. That tire's so hot.
Well, this question might be a little controversial then. Do you think any of those basketball or baseball players could come out and be a co-driver and fix a truck like that?
Yeah, you know, I think they could. They're definitely athletes, but it's what you're used to, what you know, what you don't know. So yeah, they could go out there. I think, you know, if they were trained properly, hey, you got to do this. Yes, I absolutely they could do it. It's just
what they want to.
That'd be good for one of the higher up drivers to be like, hey, call up one of the MLB stars and come on out.
Dude, how cool would that be?
Yeah, come. Well, at the Mint 400 2 or 3 years ago, there was a famous athlete. I'm forgetting his name, but it was his first experience.
Is it Keanu Reeves?
No, it was not.
Keanu Reeves does a lot of motorsport stuff too, though.
It was not. You know, I'm not remembering who it was, but it was the thrill of his life, he said. I've never experienced it. And he actually mentioned the abuse that you take is absolutely amazing. So let's just go back real quick to this weekend, Vegas to Reno. You know, what, 8 hours in a truck?
Yeah.
You gonna Ironman that? Like, that's
no air conditioning.
Yeah, no air conditioning.
You're grabbing food off the roof. Some guys, I mean, didn't you used to stick some of those gummies up on top and eat it while you're driving?
We don't have a water truck.
No,
you know,
I mean,
water in the track in front of us. You got to pass somebody. You got to take out a few trees.
Yep.
You got to do what you got to do.
The closest thing I ever did to a desert race was either the UTV World Championship, where I did some AZOP. It's a local series in Arizona.
Sure.
And they have little, like, basically short desert loops. And I did one of those in a bone stock YXZ, Yamaha YXZ, actually. And I did it with my crew chief at the time, Bryan Lopez. And he basically, like, I feel like the co-driver has a much harder job than the driver. But he basically, you know, would give me, I would put a microfiber, he'd give me microfiber, he'd clean off the GoPros, he'd do everything that he needed to do. He'd help me, like, give me little snacks, whatever we needed to do. And that was a really fun time, actually. Like, we had a good time.
I remember that.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot going on for a co-driver. You know, I'm watching all the temperatures on everything between the tranny, the motor, the cooling. Not only doing that, you know, you're judging and you're basing the GPS off of key points and footprints that you put, you know, of dangers coming up or whatnot. And if you
how do you know all that stuff then?
Well, they give you a dangers list. So at certain turns, you know, like they'll rate the danger as well too.
So do you have a mile a thing that says what mile you're at on
your
the GPS?
Yeah, your GPS system has your mile markers right there. And then on the race course, they also put stakes. Beston does it. It'll stake it. So you know when you're
Well, yeah, so you would tell the driver, you would say, in a mile, there's a danger. Be careful.
in a mile, there's a danger. Don't lift until I tell you to lift.
Gotcha.
That's how it goes.
Yeah, so you have to control his foot with your voice.
Pretty much he's doing a lot of listening to me because, I mean, there's a lot of feedback. You know, it's desert racing. Like we were just talking about silt beds, you know, two-wheel drive, whether it's in a Class 1 or whatnot, you're getting up to speeds in silt beds at 90 miles an hour, 110 miles an hour. It's sketchy, especially when you got telephone poles next to you.
Yeah, and all that.
Barbed wire fences. Yeah, there's all kinds of obstacles.
That is crazy. Well, that's cool that you had the opportunity to be a co-driver and do that. I had the opportunity once with a Can-Am driver to be a co-driver. We didn't get very far into the race, and we had a mechanical issue, but I was actually pretty excited to do that. Like, I wanted to learn the other part of it, like, because I've always been behind the handlebars or behind the wheel, and I kind of wanted to see what it was like to do the other stuff. And even this year, I had the experience of being portion of the pit crew for you at the Lucas races and being a spotter and those types of things. And all of those jobs are much more difficult than what you would initially think when you're the driver. So until you get to experience those jobs or those tasks, like hands-on, it's really, really confusing as to what those people see. Like seeing the races from the level of the bleachers and understanding all of the stuff that's going on with the what's the race control? Is that what they're called? Is that what they call them? And understanding what the other drivers are doing and keeping your eyes on everything else. I still, like I just said a little bit ago, I feel like the driver has an easier job because all they do is focus on one thing. Focus on going forward and look around and keep the race going as fast as you can.
Exactly.
The spotter, or the co-driver in these cases, looks around all the time, has to keep an eye on other cars, has to keep an eye on what's happening with the vehicle, make sure that nothing's falling off, let the driver know, communicate those things. Like, they're basically multitasking like times 10.
Was it you at Wild Horse the year before last that was Van Beekam's on fire in front of you? I was like,
I don't know if that was me.
I don't know if it was you or not. But
oh, yeah, I think it was and I said, like, drive up to him and flag him or something like that. Yeah,
it was you.
Yeah. Because I didn't know if his spotter was telling him because he wasn't pulling off. But that dude's OG, so he maybe his spotter's like, hey, it's not Vernon, you keep going. Whenever I see fire, like I only caught fire one time, and it was very, very little. And I couldn't get out quick enough. Like I will not put myself in any danger. Like if I see a little piece of smoke, I'm out.
Yeah.
Like I don't care. Like I get out right away. Did you guys ever have any incidents when you were in the trophy truck or in any other desert races?
Incidents with fire?
Yeah, or smoke or anything like that?
Yeah. We haven't had fire. We had smoke. Lost a tranny return line and got hot down there next to the exhaust. You know, I remember one thing that just really rattled my cage was I think it was the 2015 Parker 425. We broke the welds on the exhaust. So it was just open pipes right behind us.
Oh, Jesus.
It was so friggin' loud. Like
what'd you say?
We're at like the farthest part, but we're coming back into main pit, and we're just screaming at each other. It was just so ear-piercing.
God, that was
it was bad.
In a big-ass motor, too.
And you kept going. You just kept pushing through.
Yep, that's what you got to do.
Dude, that's crazy. That's nuts. And see, like, I guess that kind of is a good bridgeway to what we were talking about before, though, too, is so these stick and ball sports, they get so much exposure, right? So you got Monday Night Football. You got all these people going to watch. Like, you can go to any bar and grill, and you can see all these games going on, basketball, football, whatever it is. And the amount of exposure that these guys get for the task that's being pursued, again, not to say it's not worthy of the money that they're getting paid, but why can't we get that same exposure in motorsports? Why can't we have that for dirt bike riders? Why can't we have that for off-road racers?
They're literally risking their life every time these athletes compete. Period. The end.
Absolutely.
When you go out and play football, yes, the risks, the percentages are a little bit more there, but you know, in tennis, it's not. It's not there.
Well,
golf and
who knows,
basketball and golf, yes.
Every sport you can get injured. We know that.
Yes.
And yeah, I mean, clearly I know that you can get injured doing the stuff that we've done, but is it because there's not that many people that can afford to do these motorsports, like, so it doesn't attract everybody. So the people sitting on the couch would rather watch football or baseball because they can go play that the next day, or they don't want to watch, the motorsport because they can't afford it. Like, what's causing it not to be able to be that type of sport? Because in my mind, if I had a big company, I'd be like, fuck yeah, I'm going to throw all my millions of dollars into these badass dudes that can drive a truck or drive a UTV.
Yeah, well, we have that mindset. We grew up that way. We grew up going in the desert, and that's what we liked, and that's what we did. And not to stereotype, but the average family out there is like, my kid's going to play soccer, my kid's going to play baseball, they're going to get a scholarship, they're going to do this. So they push towards that versus the small percentage of dooners, off-roaders, into off-road.
Well, I mean, Well, let's go into this. You say your son drives, right? He's a driver. He races.
Yep.
Talk about that. Let's hear a little backstory on how you feel when your child's out there and what you see future for him.
At the end of the day, they are the future of racing for short course. Tatum's racing the 170 class. That field is just getting stacked up. This is the first year that they allowed us to go into the national series, so we're hitting every nationals race. We just got back from Spark. That's so exciting. It's super exciting, and they put it into it, but then it's also the airtime is all about what's
the TV time.
The TV time is all about exposure. It's going to be Pro 2s, Pro 4s. It's going to be Production 1000, the Yamis. But if these kids are the future racers of tomorrow, you got to give them a little poke, a little exposure here,
that's all it's gonna take,
a little exposure
like, oh
there.
Yeah,
just get
just
get a little video of them.
Yep.
We're not asking to start filming and put them on TV, at 7 o'clock.
Yeah, maybe just do some more social media.
During a commercial, okay? You know how Lucas will break off and do a commercial? Well, they'll have, somebody, a Pro 2 throwing it through a corner on the side. Instead of doing that, why wouldn't they just throw up our future racers of tomorrow and then a pack of 21 cars
just racing by
of 6 to 12-year-olds of 21 of these cars? I mean,
every kid would be so stoked.
Field. It is, Then Dad, did you see that? What's that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what I feel like Lucas needs to do with
cultivate it a little bit more, grow it like a seed. Yeah,
absolutely.
Well, that's a perfect transition into our guest, Myles Cheek. He started, racing as a little kid too. So we're going to thank some of our sponsors. Let's go to commercial break, and we will be back,
guys,
with Myles Cheek in just a few minutes here. I'm not getting any audio still. We should be able to hear that.
Stuff, dude.
Featuring a sleek 20-inch curved housing.
No. Nope.
Okay, it's still going through live. That's fine. So we just can't hear, but they can, right? Yeah, that's what it says here. Pull it up, though. I wanted to hear it, though. What do you think, dude?
Yeah.
Cool.
It just is what it is.
Kind of just flow, dude.
Huh?
Just flow.
Yeah.
How long do we have, George?
About 4 minutes.
3 now.
What? I think he went offline at 6 o'clock. That was at 6:03. So that's why you brought it all back, right? I'm Justin, the founder of Shop Therapy.
Yo, dude. So, just hang out for a sec. Turn your phone sideways, though. Yeah, like that. So, we'll get you on the big screen here real quick, and then you don't have to say anything, and then I'll introduce you, and I'll just say, hey, we got Myles Cheek. How's it going, Myles? And then you can just be like, what's up, dudes? There it goes. So, you can hear me now? Okay. Crap, we can't hear him, though. I can't hear him.
I can't hear him either.
Dude, this fucking thing is pissing me off. So hang on a sec, right, Myles? I don't know what I can do to not interrupt that live feed right there.
Maybe him and I can just talk right now, and then you try to figure this shit out.
I got to reset this thing, though. Because I had to reset the live feed. We can keep Myles on for right now, and then I can reset the live feed, and then we can hear it again, I guess. It's just going to interrupt our users for a second. We'll let these commercials play through. Can you just hang on for a couple minutes, Myles? Okay. Sorry about that, dude. We still have one commercial left, so the commercial will be about 2 minutes, and then we're going to reset the live feed real quick, and then we'll get you back on. Don't hang up, though. Just stay on there.
You sure it's not a volume control actually on that pad? No?
And sold out their first week.
I
The
can't hear
interest is
solder weld.
overwhelming, as many
There you
off-roaders
go.
already knew of solder weld's aluminum radiator repair rods, and now they were included in a convenient carry kit in camo or black.
All right. We don't have to
If you're a
reset it,
racer of
Myles.
any type
What?
or
Can
off-road
you hear us?
enthusiast like myself, you're going to want to take a close look at this product. Solder Weld has combined some of their
I think
most
we'll be able to hear
elite
him when I
products into one small
turn this
kit
on.
that fits
People hear us
perfectly
right
under
now?
your seat or strapped into your roll cage.
He can
and
hear us,
allows
yeah.
you
We
to
can't hear
make
him
some
until I
insane
turn this
fixes
audio on.
Anywhere you go. How many of us have been in a race or out on the trail and got a rock chip on a radiator or a brake line? We've literally
see that? Is
seen
it
a
muted?
top-tier desert race truck at the
Is that muted?
2019 Mint
I can't see that
400
far.
taken out by
What?
a simple rock
No. Is
to the
that muted?
radiator.
Yes.
If they would have had an off-road
It is?
repair kit on board,
Yeah, it
they
is.
could have been back up and running in just a minute. The kit includes everything you need to work on dirty aluminum, stainless steel, copper, and many other metals. Solder Weld's cutting-edge technology allows you to make these fixes
Commercial's
with
almost
extremely
done,
low
Myles, so
heat
just hang tight.
and incredible high tensile
You don't have the
strength,
RS1
leaving you with a lasting
with you, do
fix
you?
every time. Don't be that guy
At
who
the
broke
shop?
down on the side of the trail. Get your off-road
you hear
repair
him?
kit today.
I can't hear
I
Myles
can't
yet
hear
either.
Myles.
okay.
I just hear the solder weld, George.
All right, guys. We are back with Myles Cheek. How's it going, Myles? Shit, I still can't hear him. Hang on 1 second, Myles, all right? So all of our listeners, we're going to have you guys hang on a second. We're going to reset the audio system real quick. We'll be right back.
Shoot. Technical difficulties.
Error.
Yeah, I know. Electronics really. Well, this is, like in ball and bat sport.
Yeah.
Technical. Got a T timeout.
What you got over there? Oh boy. The Funzy juice.
Oof. Wow. It's amazingly smooth though for tequila.
You know, I'm not a Patron guy. He loves Patron. I'm not a Patron guy.
This is I haven't had tequila in a long time.
Yeah.
This is surprisingly smooth.
Myles, can you hear us? No.
No, we can hear it. We can see his lips moving.
You can
but-
hear us though, right? Yeah.
This is true. Well,
So let's get back to while George gets on this stuff. Let's get back to your family life and how the racing scene has it made you guys come really closer as a family? I mean, how does it feel when you go to these races as a family?
14 hours in a motor coach all the way to Sparks, Nevada makes you really close, man.
But that's how you got an awesome wife. I've met her. She's really awesome. She supports you in everything you do, and I also have my wife, Carly. She supports me in everything I do.
Sure.
How does it feel though? I mean, when you watch your son go out there and rip around, like, how's that feeling for you?
I mean, you're always nervous at first. You just want the best for him.
Right.
And the competition is so stiff. And you know, my son he's young. This is barely his second year. He's got 1 full year under his belt. And this is his second year, and he's 8. He's going up against kids that are 12 that have been doing this for 4 or 5 years already, you know. And they're fast.
Yeah.
Yeah. Their dads have had time for the R&D on the you know, the clutching is a lot. You know, all these 170s, the horsepower of the cars, they're all pretty much the same. It really just kind of comes down to the.
And your son, man, he's very energetic.
Yes.
That boy is all over the place, man. He's like, oh, even at George's fundraiser, man, he was out there selling the cupcakes, and he's like, Cody, hey. And I'm like, dude, calm down.
He made $130 on cupcakes. I was like, yes, that's awesome.
And that's so cool, man. I and your wife, I mean, obviously, as a mom, I mean, I know my mom used to be scared out of her mind. You know, what the hell, you know? But how does she feel about everything?
You know, she's.
Can you hear us, Myles?
She's relaxed.
Yeah, I got you.
Okay,
we're
good.
back in.
Awesome.
So, yeah, she's definitely relaxed a lot more over the time span. I remember Tatum's second race, my father came out, and on a Saturday, he tells me he needs to roll. And Dad, why would you say that?
It's rough to understand.
Yeah, I couldn't understand it. I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like,
Well, let's hold that thought, Brian. Let's get Myles on.
Let's do it.
All right,
Myles, what's up, dude?
Myles, it's going down, man.
What's up, guys? How you doing?
Good, man.
We're doing good. Except we had a little bit of technical difficulties. We're trying out a new little production system, so it's a little bit of a learning curve for me. I got to produce a show, host a show, all that stuff. But it's nothing like racing, so.
Oh yeah, just got to figure it out a little bit, but.
Yeah, exactly. So how are you doing, man?
Good. We just getting ready for the next race coming up in Crandon in a few weeks, but I think we're leaving this Sunday for it. Start driving out there.
Dang,
About
how long is that
37
drive?
hours. Oh yeah.
How long is that
So
drive?
I think me and my crew chief are gonna roll out Sunday. Then I think Ronnie Anderson, he's gonna tag along and follow us out there.
So you guys both got to drive all the way out there?
Yeah, I think we're gonna try to split it up into 2 12-hour days. Then I think the last day will be like 7 hours.
Shit, dude, that's gonna be a long ass drive.
Yeah, no, it's there.
Wait, is that
Yeah,
further
it's a
than
long
Wheatland?
trip, but we've done it like the last 2 years. So like we have like our little barbecue stops that we hit on the way out. So
Oh,
it's
you
like
already
a
got it
little
all
something to look
dialed?
forward to.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
Dude, that's nice, man. Well, we told all of our listeners already about a little bit about you. You know, you grew up racing Lucas and stuff like that. Why don't you tell everybody a little bit of your backstory, man?
Oh yeah. So my dad, he's been doing motocross ever since he was a kid. So he kind of got me into that when I was a little bit younger. Then kid I actually went to preschool with, bought a trophy cart and was showing my dad, and my mom instantly fell in love with it because it's so much safer than a dirt bike.
Oh,
I got
yeah.
a cage around me now, so it's like started off in motocross, BMX, all that stuff, you know. Then I was about 7, 8 years old. We got a go-kart. Then that's when we started doing the trophy kart stuff a little bit more. Then we ended up getting the pro light for a little bit too. So I've been racing for about over 10 years now.
Wow,
in the
that's
cars.
cool. So when did you start then? What age were you?
I had to have been probably 8 years old.
Well, that's pretty young, man.
And I think my first motocross race, I was like 4, riding a little 50 around.
Did you do good your first race?
What was that?
Did you do good your first race? Your first motocross race? You did good?
Oh, it was a straight mud race.
Oh, really?
Oh, dude, it was the worst like first race experience you could have.
Did you
But
still
it got
like
me
it?
hooked.
Since you were little, you probably liked it though, no?
Oh yeah, I loved it because I always wanted to be like my dad, you know, and he always rode and did all that stuff. So I was just always tried to follow in his footsteps a little bit.
Dude, that's pretty badass. So like we were talking about it before too, all of us, as we were talking about how crazy it is when you grow up living the dirt life, and you just like you have a totally different outlook on life, right? Like, so you get to like grow up, you build bicycle jumps, you make these tracks, like you don't like you're not sitting inside like glued to your phone or video games or whatever, and then like
no, my ADD's too bad. I can't look at a screen for that long. I have to get up and do something.
Yeah. Dude, I feel you. Yeah, and then like so
Right there with
you guys are probably out like building mini bike jumps and all kinds of shit, huh?
Oh yeah, me and my buddies, we all have tracks around our house, so we got probably 3 of them for our pit bikes and stuff.
Yeah, that's sweet.
So
dude.
like every winter, right after the rain, we start shoveling again.
What kind of pit bike are you ripping right now?
The KLX 140.
Do you got it like modded all then? Like, so it's got a big board?
Yeah, I got some like 85 upside down front forks on it.
That's cheating. Shit.
That's cheating.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Dude, that's badass. Does it look all sick too, or no?
Yeah, it like has a little PC pipe on it. Then got the wheels powder coated black. Did the hubs like kind of a bronze color.
Oh, did you Cerakote them or something?
Yeah, they're cast, so they got blasted then powder coated.
Oh, dude, I want to see that thing. Send me a picture, like when you get off the show. I want to check that thing out, man. That sounds badass.
Oh yeah, I think I'll send you a little video of us up at our track too.
Oh, like what kind of track do you guys have? Like the Sheep Hills kind of stuff, where you're like doubling through all kinds of bicycle jumps?
Yeah, it's kind of like that. Like the weeds got so big this year that the whole track was like handlebar wide around the entire thing, so it was pretty cool.
Dang, you gotta like just go like you probably can't wear like
dude,
shorts.
My mom hates it because when I get home, all my clothes are all green from the grass and everything.
Sure.
Yeah.
Was it dirt primo out there last time you went?
It was hard as a rock because it's been dry so lately out here.
Oh.
But back in like February, March, right there, it was just money.
Well, where do you live these days? So all our listeners can know.
Like Yorba Linda, California, kind of by Disneyland.
Don't give away the track though, your little track though, because then you're gonna get all kinds of.
Oh no,
we loading up. Like, we heading that way, dude.
I know. Go check it out. Don't give away your secret riding spots.
I pulled up one day and there's kids on like full on 450s up there.
Just fucking off the jumps or what?
They kinda, but
I hate that. At least go and like bring your own shovel and fix it when you're done.
Yeah, there's a couple of kids that will ride up there too, and they'll try to help shovel and stuff too. So that's always pretty nice.
Yeah, hell yeah. Well, back to your racing. So when you started racing, what kind of cart did you have? Junior cart?
It was just like the OG trophy cart stuff, like double chain, had the spare tire on the back. But that was 2008, I want to say, in Core.
Oh wow! So you've been doing it for a little while.
Yeah,
then.
So we got to do like Pomona on the asphalt, Chula Vista. So in the old school Prim track. So like those tracks were so much fun for me, and especially like around that time was when my dad was racing too.
Hey,
so
pro
it was
buggies?
just like I heard you talking a little bit earlier about family and involved in racing and stuff.
Yeah.
So like every other weekend, it's me, my mom, my sister, and my dad in the motorhome. You know, when we were going somewhere.
Cool.
Yeah, see, that's really cool, man.
That's what it's about, man.
And Bryan Foerster, he races in the production turbo class, and he does the same thing with his son. He's got his son in a 170, and they go everywhere, man. And having like everybody, I remember when we saw you guys at the border when we were going down to Ensenada in I think 17 or 18 or whatever it was, and like we didn't really know what we were doing, and I think you guys had already been down to Mexico, or Ronnie or RJ or somebody had, and they told us, they're like, dude, just get in the convoy with these dudes, like, because your dad or whoever was driving your bus was going fucking 90 miles an hour and never shutting down.
As soon as you pass over into Mexico, it's game on, dude.
I was like, holy shit. And my dad was like getting back, like he wasn't going as fast. I'm like, I think you should probably be keeping up with those guys because they're doing it for a reason.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Was that on the way down or on the way back up?
No, on the way back up, we left like a day early, so we came back just by ourselves. But we hauled ass because we didn't really know.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say, like as soon as we load up from the races, it's like 90 plus the whole way home in that thing.
Yeah. So that was cool to meet you guys down there and then follow you guys down there. It was a little bit safer, at least made me feel a little bit safer with a big crew going down. That is a really cool thing that you bring up, though, is to have that camaraderie and family-oriented values like every other weekend. Like, I mean, like you're really, really growing up, like being a solid kid because you're learning all these things from your family and your friends and everybody.
Oh yeah, you just pick up so much knowledge being around just a bunch of great people like that. Then my sister, she's actually real into horseback riding.
Oh,
so
really?
if we weren't at the racetrack, we were over doing like a barrel race, some cutting or whatever, you know.
It probably teaches you guys too. Like I'm sure your dad will say that it teaches you guys a lot of work values and work ethic and stuff.
Oh yeah, for sure. Just all the time that goes into putting that car out there on the track.
How much
Just
time
like
do you
down
have to
the-
spend on that, like before the races and weeks and stuff?
Thankfully I have a full-time crew guy at the shop, so he handles a lot of it for me. But whenever he calls me up, and I'm only like 100 feet away because I'm working at my dad's shop too.
Oh, okay.
So a lot of the times I'm running like parts deliveries for the company, or I'm out picking up something for the race car.
Oh, right on. Yeah, that's cool. Do you want to tell everybody like what you do as like for your occupation or for your daily stuff?
Yeah, so I kind of help out like with the shipping department for my parents.
Mm-hmm.
So like all the material coming in, I kind of have a hand on that, and everything that goes back out the door.
Right
So-
on. Yeah, that's super cool. And so you learn a lot of work values there too. And then obviously how hard you have to work in racing. I mean, that teaches you values big time.
Oh yeah, and it kind of seen how a company runs too. So I've been around there for a little bit now, and yeah, I'm
is
pumped
that
on
your
it.
plan?
I like it.
Is that your plan? You're going to take it over, or how's that going to go down?
I don't really know because I kind of want my parents to retire good, you know, so they can. Sorry, my dog's going off.
That's all right.
I kind of want my parents to sell the company so they can retire good, go do what they want, you know.
What kind of stuff do you want to do? Like, what do you feel like doing for your career?
I've actually been thinking about going to culinary school lately.
No shit?
Nice.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm all over that. You
that's
could
pretty
come
cool.
over and make me some freaking tacos,
Dude, that's
bro.
what I'm
You
saying.
can cook
Hey,
pretty damn good
Hey,
yourself.
I
come
can
on
cook
now.
pretty good.
Don't let it.
I can cook pretty good. I mean, I ain't no culinary dude, like
Yeah.
culinary school. I'm like that new restaurant they opened up here in Arizona, Culinary Dropout. That's me.
Yeah, totally.
That's cool, man. So you're into cooking, huh?
Yeah, I don't really know what it is, but just something I was doing like ever since I was like 10 years old, you know. I just always wanted to help my mom or my dad cook, and I don't know. I just like grilling.
Dude, that's bitching.
Nice.
So what, are you like a good chef on the grill when you guys go camping?
Yeah, like at all the races, I'll cook for all the guys and stuff. Then like just tonight, I made my parents dinner too. But
Dude,
whenever I can, I like to cook, yeah.
that's awesome. Do they have any good culinary schools over there in Yorba Linda or Anaheim?
Yeah, there's one actually like just down the 55.
Yeah.
Probably like 10 minutes from my house, and the place looks really good. They have a class opening up in October, so I think that's when I'm gonna go.
Dude, that's
Nice.
so cool, man.
That's rare, man. You don't see
I
that.
love
You don't-
this. Is exactly why I
This is
started
cool.
this show, is
This is
because I
cool.
wanted to hear freaking stories like that.
And he's still young too, right? So he can get into it now, and he can see if
Yeah.
it's really something that
Yeah.
he wants to keep moving,
Yep.
or
Yeah.
you know what, something might step up and he'd be like, I want to try that. You know what I
Exactly.
mean?
Well, I mean, we already
Yeah.
know that he can wheel a car like nobody's business.
Yeah, for sure.
So you go race
yeah,
and
it's
then
just
have a
like-
food truck on the side, man, at the race.
Oh yeah, there we go.
We
But
got rid of
doesn't
even
Rick-
if like I don't follow through with being a chef and all that stuff, but like it's still a good trait to know, you know.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, 100%. Especially when you're starting to get married, dude.
You'll
You know
have
how
a
many
happy
chicks you
wife.
get?
That's
yeah.
what I was about to
Cooking for
say. Your
chicks.
wife's gonna be happy.
Dude, yeah, your wife's gonna be stoked.
You're going to be cooking dinner. She can be outside working on your car.
Oh yeah, I like that program. That works for me.
That's super cool, dude. Well, yeah. So what's one of the things that you like cooking the most right now? Like for me, it's tacos and cheese enchiladas. Like I love cooking that.
Oh yeah. I don't know. I like cooking a lot of Asian foods.
Oh, really? That's one thing.
Yeah.
Wow.
I feel like Asian cooking though is super difficult.
It is very difficult. Very difficult.
It's,
It's my favorite because I don't really care for vegetables, but I love them in Asian food.
I don't- yeah,
I like cooked
that's-
vegetables.
Well,
don't
Myles,
know.
so you
Yeah, I just like the big flavors that they do.
can you cook Asian food pretty good then?
I'm okay at it. Like, I have like a little soup that I can do for my parents. I just did that tonight. Then fried rice, obviously. Then
Do you
any
like
other
the-
like little.
The wok? Do you cook on a wok a lot? Like, do you like
I
the
don't
wok?
have a wok.
But, like, is that
I
something?
usually just use a cast iron.
Cast irons where
Wow.
it's at.
Okay.
Cast iron's
Yeah.
supposed to be
You
like
gotta look up beef bulgogi.
Yeah.
Ever heard of
Is it good?
bulgogi? Oh, it's
No.
money. It's like a
Yeah.
Mongolian beef, but I believe it's Thai.
Yeah.
What
I don't.
is it super flavorful?
Yeah, it's amazing.
Dude, there you go.
Yeah,
Well,
there
now
you
you got
go.
a new dish that you can try cooking.
Beef
Well,
bulgogi.
so you just got back from Sparks, Nevada at the last Lucas race, and you just built an RS1. So pick a subject, man, and tell us about it.
So Reno, it was a pretty good weekend. I think I was about 37 points out going into it. And the first day rained out in qualifying, so we went off points, started third. Then me, Brock, and Mickey Thomas, like I think all of us swapped the lead probably like 3 times each.
And that
so
was
it was
the
an
first
awesome
day?
race. Then they threw a caution, and right after the caution, I ran into a little bit in turn 1, and it cut our tire. So thankfully, though, like I'm not sure what happened, but a caution came out that same lap. So I just barely caught the field when we were going green. And I think 5 laps, I went from 16th to 3rd.
No shit,
So
really?
that was the Friday. So that one wasn't too bad. We made up like a decent amount of points from what it could have been.
Dude, you know what they
Next
say is
day, same thing. Me and Brock just battled the entire race. Then on the last lap, I was squaring him up from the outside, and he was coming across the bottom. And like right when we were like coming across each other, his car bobbled. I guess he was running out of gas. So right there, he like just stalled for a second, and 2 or 3 guys got by me, and I ended up 4th that day.
oh, bummer. So it's just a little bit of we don't want to call it bad luck because they say you manage your championships on your bad days, and you freaking come back that hard on Saturday.
Yeah,
It was
it's pretty good.
That Friday
Yeah.
race, that Friday race turn 1 was something else though. I was there, man.
Oh, Friday race?
Oh, the Friday race turn 1. These guys were just smashing right into each other.
Oh, really? I don't like that though.
They came out in the drivers' meeting and said, hey, I know we had some discrepancies on turn 1 on Friday's race. Let's try to keep it a little bit cleaner. We're going to watch it a little bit harder. I don't know if it was the rain or whatnot, because even though it rained, they were still watering the track. I was trying to figure that out.
I know. The track was still super wet in the beginning.
How was it in your car? Because you run those Hoosier tires.
It was pretty good. It was like the track was like a little bit softer than I expected it to be. So it was I went down on pressure anticipating the track being a little bit wetter, but it was kind of like it honestly worked out pretty good. I felt pretty hooked up.
Oh, right on. That's cool. And we were talking before a little bit about you racing a Polaris against some of these Yamahas and stuff out there, and I think it's so awesome. Like, there's so many people that bitch, oh, so-and-so's cheating in their Yamaha, so-and-so's cheating in their Razor. And, I remember, I think I had a conversation with you or your dad. I'm like, the kid can just fucking drive good. Like, he's a fast driver. And his dad has been racing for a long time. He knows how to build a good car. I guarantee you, if you took that thing all the way apart, stripped it down, and put it back together, there would be nothing illegal about it. The kid is just a good driver. He just optimized his car to go as fast
And
as...
he'd still cook you dinner in the middle.
Yeah, no shit. But
yeah, like I think people kind of forget like how long I've been racing and all the classes that I've raced. Like I've been around for a little bit now. So I'm not sure if they just see me in the Polaris UTV and they just don't think I'm competitive with the Yamahas or what, but...
Well, and you guys build a good car. You're a fantastic driver. I mean, that's all it takes. I mean, like if anybody else wanted to put as much effort as you do into your program, into their program, they could probably do the same thing if they can drive anywhere, up to your ability.
We treat the thing like it's a pro light still,
Yeah.
Like every race the thing comes apart. We just do a bunch of homework on the thing, and thankfully my dad, he's a pretty smart guy, so he helps us out a lot too.
Yeah, that's awesome to have that mindset on your team. That's really cool, man. And we were talking about it before. Like I said, is the Polaris against Yamaha battle is like that's one of the main things.
Interesting to me.
It's
like
the Ford
watching
versus
it.
Chevy shit.
Yeah, I love it.
Like you want to see dudes do good and bad.
Yeah.
Like underdogs.
Oh, yeah. Then like the Honda, they just came out with their car, so like there's just another car out there. So I like seeing it like a bunch of different manufacturers running around in there.
Dude, that's what I think too. And Bryan was saying that in the production turbo class that Lucas doesn't want to allow any 2020s in because they have way more horsepower, so they're like banning that. I was like, I think Lucas should just allow him to come in and fix the rules. That like just have a test day, have these guys come out and just fix it.
I think it's just hard for them because they don't really know where to base that car off if they don't see it race yet.
You don't have to base it off of anything
it unless you race it. So
yeah,
it's just they're kind of in a pickle, I think, and it's close to the end of the year, so they're like, just keep driving the cars you're in. Then next year we'll figure all that stuff out. But
in a bigger race series, let's take like an automotive race series like Le Mans or something, for instance. If they're going to have any changes to the class, they'll start 6 months before the end of the season or something. They'll start testing those vehicles with good drivers, and they'll start figuring things out so that they can have those questions answered ahead of time.
Which in production, I feel that they should start trying to figure some of those questions out with the Talons and the Textron Wildcats.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
like
these
Myles
are
said,
both-
he likes
both
to see
heavier
that.
vehicles. You know what I mean? So there's going to be give and take somewhere.
And like Myles said, he likes to see the competition, and I think it's fantastic too.
Yeah.
So if they would,
Yeah, then there's just like it gives more drivers a little bit more of an opportunity. Like hopefully, like someone can get that Yamaha ride, someone can get the Polaris ride, the Honda ride, the Cali ride, etc. You know?
Yep.
Yeah.
is there going to be a Cowie out just pretty soon too?
Yeah, I thought I saw
There
something
is.
that's
There is.
getting
I was just
released pretty
heard
soon or
that.
something.
Yeah, but there is no leak.
Yeah.
There's no leak on them. Just the front headlights. They haven't even. When this thing comes out, I'm really excited to see what they bring to the table. I don't even think it's going to be turboed. I think it's just going to be an NA car. I really hope. When Talon came out, at first I was like, I don't know. And then I'm starting to see him, and I'm like, they are looking really good. And
I always thought those cars were cool.
I never.
You know, I'm always ride red. I've been that way, but when the Talon came out, I was
like,
not
what is
impressed
going on?
in any way, shape, or form.
I was like,
Have you got to drive any of those cars, Myles, like a Talon or a Can-Am?
I haven't yet.
No?
I drove the new Polaris though, the XP Pro.
That thing.
Pro XP.
Okay, what do you feel on that car?
I love it.
Really?
I absolutely love it.
181
Oh,
horsepower,
dude.
Yeah.
right?
A
181.
little more horsepower, and it's like I think it's a 68 inch wide, but it feels like the 72.
Nice.
Wow.
Like you don't even know it's that narrow. Like we were driving the thing so hard, and we were riding around with Ronnie on the short course track, and he's just full toss sideways, and I think it's gonna be a good short course car, honestly.
So they should definitely
Yeah.
allow that one in the turbo class
see,
then.
There you go.
There you go.
It looks cool as shit. I like the body lines and stuff.
I did
on
that
It.
first when I seen it come out. I'm
No?
like, what the heck is that? But as time is going on and it's driving and it's hitting whoops and it's hitting corners, I'm like, that is a sleek car.
Well, now you got a testament. Myles talking to us
Yeah.
is bitching too. What about
Yeah,
your
then
RS?
you guys saw like the holes cage they built for it too, right?
Dude, that car looks sick.
Oh yeah, that one looks like a good time.
That one looks real. And it didn't have long travel too, or no?
Yeah, I think it was like 3 inches.
Dude, that'd be so cool to have. Are you allowed to have
Oh yeah.
long travel if it's not exceeding the length of
Yes.
for the short course rules?
Yeah, you just got to be a certain minimum height, and you have to be a certain width.
So it doesn't matter if you extend it.
You can put any arms you want on there.
Fuck yeah! So that
Nice.
hole's one would be sick to have
Yeah.
as a short course car.
Nope.
Right?
Dude, that would
Oh,
be
yeah.
cool. Well, tell us a little bit about the RS1 build that you just did.
So the RS1, we actually like took a lot of time with it. So just every little thing we went through, oil cooler on it now, all good fuel lines, brake lines. Just don't really want anything to fail on it, so we just replaced everything. And we went and tested it last Friday or 2 Fridays ago, and I'm so surprised with how well it handled for short course. Like me and my dad were debating on seeing if like we should switch over to that halfway through the season, but I think we're just gonna stick with our old car.
Oh, really? But that the new
Yeah.
RS1's pretty sick, though.
Yeah, we're building it we built it for a works car.
Uh huh.
So we'll be doing the Glen Helen and the Prim one coming up a little bit later this year. Then do like UTV World Championships and races like that. And then
Dude, you could probably rip at the UTV World Championship one of those.
Let's get some seat. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be so cool. Those cars look really cool. I talked to Jason Murrow a little bit about those when they first came out, and he said they were fun.
oh, they're a lot of fun.
Is it weird
They're a lot of fun.
seeing the tires like you can see all the suspension moving, or it doesn't bother you?
I'm not really paying attention to that really.
You're just still looking forward.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just trying to spot up a little bit.
Yeah, that's
I'm not
cool.
trying to like. That's just like something that's kind of like breaking my focus. I kind of feel like.
Yeah.
I would just
So I'm
always
just
felt
not
like
even looking for it.
I just always felt like when on my dirt bike, like if I broke the front fender off, like when I was racing, I'd be like, this doesn't feel right. Like I can see my tire.
Oh yeah,
I felt
No, I know
like-
what you're saying about that for sure.
When Polaris came out with the RS1, all I kept thinking of was that red line. Remember back in the day, the red line that came out? It was a
That little
one-seater.
cage,
It
wasn't
was, yeah, and that's
Oh,
what
like
I
a Honda Odyssey kind of
yeah,
looking
but
thing?
it was the red line, and I'm like, whoa, man, this is crazy looking. And I didn't think a lot of people would take a big liking to it, but I've seen a lot lately.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I think those RS1s are cool. Like my mom, for instance, she doesn't like being a passenger, so she'd be a perfect one for an
Yeah.
RS1.
Yeah.
Well, I'm interested to see how
My dad has so many good stories about those Honda Odysseys.
Really?
Oh my gosh! He said like
All
the first
4
time he ever
inches
drove
of
one was like
travel?
at Saddleback or something. And there
Really?
was a bunch of moto guys out there, and he said like by the third lap they're all throwing his hands up, telling him to get off the track.
He was probably hucking all the jumps, huh?
I wouldn't doubt it.
Dude, I took a Polaris Razor 900 out to our local moto track, and I hucked all the jumps second lap. And after I did that, all the promoters and everybody out there, all the track workers, like just jumped on the track. Get the fuck out of here! Stop doing that!
Really?
Like they were so scared. Like I was like, dude, I used to race dirt bikes. Like I can jump these jumps. Like all these little guys on the dirt bikes aren't even jumping these things, and I go huck them in my little 900 Razor, and they were like, "No, you're gonna die! Get out of here!"
That's funny.
Is that a ACP or?
I actually drove out ACP, but not on the dirt bike track. This is called MCMP. It's down a little south for ACP.
Okay.
But yeah, the dirt bike track isn't as gnarly as ACP, but it was still fun in a 900.
Oh yeah, I think I've seen some videos of it before.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, well, there's two tracks out there at the one we ride, and one of them's like a vet track where it's like super little jumps. But I rode the moto track, and I didn't get any footage of that. And I just like, there's this jump they call Hamburger Hill, but it's huge. It's probably like 100-something feet, and it's like steep, like a big steep tabletop. And like, you could never do this in a Yamaha because you go over the bars. But like in the Polaris, I floated it perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, just because the chassis.
Oh yeah, that's the good thing about the Polaris is they always fly pretty flat.
They do handle really good. Like I remember my Razor 1000 I had wasn't anywhere near as good as yours, and that car was always flat. It always handled good. It like never looped out, never endoed. Like it was just a good chassis.
That's good to know.
Oh yeah, like every time we go to Mexico, I always feel like I can get through the rhythm a little bit better than everyone else.
Yeah,
because I'm pretty much one of the players, but all the Yamahas are like front wheel, back wheel, front wheel, back wheel, all the way through it.
Yeah. Oh, and I noticed that too. That one year that I went and that we followed you guys down there, I lost an engine that first day, so I had to watch. And when I was watching, like you could get that on your car so much cleaner because it just stayed nice and level through that whole section.
Yeah, like it just nicks the top of each one.
And even like you came up like, I don't know, maybe a foot and a half short on one of the sections, like one lap, and it bucked you a little bit, but right when you hit down like on the next one after the G out, it started
just squats back down.
Yeah, and it started the same rhythm again. I was like, dude, it's either him pedaling it in the car or the car did it good.
Ever since we got those shocks, we've never touched valving, tuning, anything on them.
Really?
Just always had walkers, yeah.
And they're that good, huh?
Just right out of the box.
Oh.
That's bitching. That's a good testament to those Walker Evans guys for doing that. Well, that's cool, man. I can't believe that you really want to be a chef. That's literally like blowing my mind because that's exactly why I started this show. Is I wanted to know what people are like behind the scenes.
Yep. Oh yeah, actually, I have my knife right here.
Uh-oh, that's not a knife.
That's
a knife.
That's a Rambo knife.
Let's see that thing, dude.
Flip this thing around.
Ooh, it comes in a little package. Wow.
Yeah.
Damn, look at that thing.
Dude, oh, yeah.
Legit. You sharpen it yourself, or you have somebody else do it, or?
I'm gonna buy a stone, but I just haven't got around to it yet.
Dude, you're taking this shit serious. Well, that's
almost like I've used that one only like 5 times. I just hate using it.
Nice.
That's one of the questions that I actually wanted to ask you was like, what we know what your future holds for you. You can obviously wheel a car and you can cook. So what's something that you want like to be remembered for? Like, let's just say you quit racing or you're like an old man and you want like, what do you want your legacy to be?
Just that I always feel like I always drive everyone pretty clean. Like I don't feel like I'm a super dirty driver, and I've been racing for so long now, and I feel like I've always been like pretty close to the top.
Yeah.
So I just feel like I've just always been a consistent driver. Haven't like pissed anyone off too bad out there racing, but
that respect level really means a lot, though.
It means a ton.
When he says that, he's completely true. There's been a few times that him and I have battled really, really good. Like, and when I say good, I mean like we've been like close, like maybe half an inch from rubbing tires, pushing each other up berms, going back and forth. But it was like those days when you go out to the motocross track and you're practicing and you just go with your buddies and you like block pass each other and you're just motoing down.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what I felt like when I got off the track racing against you compared to somebody else. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I try to make the race as fun as possible for like everyone, you know?
Yeah.
I'm not trying to take you out of the race and take your front arm off or something. I'm just trying to like square you up, like have a clean pass around the inside, outside, whatever. Like, let's just make it fun.
That's cool, man. That's a really respectful thing, dude. Yep. Well, we really appreciate you taking the time with the technical difficulties and out of your cooking schedule to come talk with us, dude. I really appreciate it, man.
Oh, thank you guys for having me on. It's an honor.
Well, thank you very much, Myles Cheek. You guys got any other questions?
Hey, man, all I can tell you is good luck with your food, what you're doing. I hope we see you at the track maybe, and you have your little truck going on. I'll come by.
Oh, yeah.
I'll come
Come
by that
by.
Asian food, man. Let's do it.
Well, when he opens his restaurant
Oh
in
yeah,
California,
just come
we'll
by
make
at the
sure.
next race. I'll cook you up something.
Let's do it, man.
I'm
Hell
gonna,
yeah.
I'm gonna give you good luck for Crandon, man. Crandon's gonna be awesome. It's coming up here pretty
Oh
quick.
yeah, thank you. Are you gonna make it out there or no?
I am not gonna make it out there, unfortunately. Yeah.
You got to do it one year.
Yeah. Well, hopefully next year it'll be the year. So.
There you go.
All right, Myles, we'll go kick some ass in Crandon, dude. Thank you very
Good
much.
luck,
Thanks,
man.
Myles
Thanks,
Cheek,
sir.
dude.
All right, thank you
I
guys.
appreciate it,
it.
everybody.
We'll see you later, bro.
Oh, yeah. Have a good one, man.
You too. Thanks, Myles Cheek, for coming on the show. We really appreciate it. It's awesome to see those family values
Yeah, it was
passed
nice.
down.
It was cool, man.
Like, again, I can't say how stoked I am. Like, that's exactly why I wanted
Yeah.
this freaking show.
He showed up his knife, man. Like
Dude.
his personal knife. He's like, this is my knife. This is
And
what I'm going to use.
I never knew that. Like, at the races, we don't talk about stuff like that. We don't get to know these people
Yeah.
like that. It's so badass. Like, he's a young kid. To have that much ambition.
Yeah, that's
like,
pretty cool, man.
To have the ambition to go to work at a really successful company like his dad's every day, have the drive and want to go cook his parents' food when he gets home
Yeah, it's pretty neat.
after working for them all day. You know they're on his case about doing a good job.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
that's that off-road family life respect. Like
It's cool, man.
The core is there, right?
Yeah.
You learn respect. Like they didn't even probably have to ask him, but he was like, you know what? I'm gonna cook him dinner or something. Yeah.
And now you know what? They probably sit there and they'll be like, yeah, you know what? I have no problem with Myles going to culinary school.
Yeah.
I'll pay for it. I'll do whatever. Just as long as this kid, I know this kid's passionate. He's going to work his ass off.
Well, look, you heard him say it. He was like, I want my parents to be after they want to sell the business. They want them to be happy and just relax, pretty much. Like I want what's best for them.
Man, and you rarely hear kids, young
As
kids,
somebody that young too. As
Yeah, it's
well.
crazy.
about
I mean,
that.
he's got a good brain in him, man. He just
I think that the respect is a perfect word.
Yeah.
He's got respect. He
got
thinks about
respect.
others first. Like he's got a good head on his shoulders.
Well, you asked him, what do you want to be remembered by? And his initial first thing was, I was a clean driver.
Yeah.
That's like respecting other people. It's respect.
Makes a lot of sense,
You know,
man.
you don't want to take anybody else out. Well, you go to take them out, you're going to pretty much take yourself out too.
Dude, he
You're
got
gonna
me
break
so
something.
excited. Like I really like.
Are you hungry?
Yeah. Not only am I hungry, but tomorrow I want to be a better person. Like I really want to like have more like do good.
Yeah.
I'll be over at lunch
what
for
it's about.
tacos then, because you can make me tacos. We got to start somewhere.
That's awesome, man. Well, I appreciate Myles Cheek coming on, and
That was cool.
I'm glad that he was able to share some of that stuff. So it's cool to see that thing. And the dirt life, once again, we got some winners in the dirt world, man. That's really, really
that's
cool
good.
to see that.
Definitely good to know.
Well, next week we have our featured guest is going to be Brett Carpenter from Rigid Industries. So we're going to get a totally different, outlook on the racing industry, the off-road industry. We're going to be able to learn a lot about their lighting products, that's for sure.
And as a sponsor.
Yeah,
That's
I mean, the
cool.
sponsor part's cool. But I'm actually more interested to talk to him about how because he has two different positions. His first position is work. He's got to bring home the bacon. He's got a family. So he's got to manage racers. He's got to manage products. He's got to manage marketing. He's got to do all these very, very stressful things with high-intensity people. A racer is not an easy dude to deal with. You know that very well. Anytime anybody needs something as a racer, they needed it yesterday.
Yeah.
They need it right now, and they want it for a discount or free, whatever it is. So it's not easy to deal with those people. And then the dude has the best head on his shoulders. He goes home, awesome family man. And this is where I want to see him really shine, because I want to see what the transition is from going from a job like that he has to deal with all these people, because he's not like a racer dude himself. He wants to do racing, and he's been in racing situations before, but he just deals with all these people. And when you come through a whole day of dealing with people like that, and then you come home with your family, I want to see how he manages that, because that'll tell you a lot about a person and their mindset, if they can switch it and really focus on what's important in life.
Sure.
So I want to see what he's all about because everybody tells me how bitchin' and awesome this dude is.
Well, I had a chance to speak with him in Laughlin, and that was actually his first time at the UTV Worlds this year. Was his first time in the race.
Really?
Yeah, first time driving a race car. So, and he was so stoked. He was so pumped up. Yeah, it was good to see.
Well, there you go. So it'll be nice to talk to him about that. So next week's guest, Brett Carpenter from Rigid Industries.
Nice.
And to round out the show, I'd like to thank all of our sponsors. We have Shock Therapy, baddest shocks in the business. We have Rigid Industries, Brett Carpenter next week. Light Bars, baddest stuff in the business too. Solder Weld, we showed you guys about all these little flux rods and flux and things that you can repair your ride with. Excuse me, and Fuel Wheels. Awesome wheels and tires. Thank you to everybody for loving the dirt life. And again, go show all your friends, family, have them like the show, watch the show, subscribe, do everything that you can. Just blow us up. Let's get this party started, man. So thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for watching. We will see you next week. Peace
Monday,
out.
baby.
Make no mistake about it, we're glad you've wasted your time with us listening to another episode of the Dirt Life Show with George Hamill and Cody Sanders. This production has been approved, endorsed, and authorized by absolutely no one.